I've been up and I've been down and I done seen it all. Was in the gym working my shot, now they pass me the ball. They never answer when I call, now I'm the one they call. I done been up and I've been down and I done seen it all. Crazy when you really gotta get it out the mud.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rocky Top Sports Talk with your boy, Coach Rice. On this episode, we're going to be talking about the UAB game, and we're also going to preview just a little bit of the Mississippi State game. We're going to do a full preview show of that later on in the week. So we're going to buckle down, talk about what we saw in that first half primarily, because that first half, you saw the varsity get the top end guys and really the impact of what Tennessee was trying to do offensively and defensively against UAB. UAB obviously had some, strange formations, some different formations to try to create advantages for their lack of, talent to what Tennessee's got. Obviously, they had some skill on the offensive side of the ball. So, with that being said, I'm going to bring my boys Joey Blankenship on. I'm sorry, y'all. We had something that just kicked me out for some reason, but get this ball back rolling. The Mississippi State game is going to be obviously very, very important as far as what the rest of the season is going to be like. You got to win that game. Coach Heupel's been known to lose these games on the road. I think this year is going to be different. So with that being said, hopefully I won't have any technical difficulties bringing Joey and Tom on, and let's get this ball rolling. Goodness gracious, guys. What a way to start the show, man.
That's the way.
Hey, obviously the UAB game was always going to be, a lopsided game. We knew we had more talent than them. We knew we just were better in all phases of the game. The score kind of ended up, it made some people mad because I don't know if we hit the cover or not, but it's the second half isn't way me and Joey were talking about for you got on, Tom. The second half was just not. It wasn't fun to watch. It was just boring. It was blah. It was very frustrating, to be honest, because I want our guys that are second string and third string to come in there and not drop a beat as far as execution and being able to run the stuff. But the way they walked through that second half outside the first drive offensively, it really left a sour taste in my mouth. And so I was going to talk about that a lot tonight as far as just the attitude coming in from that. I'm not going to really talk about the play-by-play stuff in the second half, but the attitude in that second half really left a sour taste in my mouth to where I was kind of frustrated after the game. The first half was glowing. The first half, you couldn't – the offense looked awesome. The defense did a lot of positive things. So, Joey, what's your thoughts, just your first thoughts on the game from Saturday?
I'm with you. I totally feel the same way about the second half. This Mississippi State game last year, if I'm not mistaken, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but our QB1 goes down with a concussion and did not play the second half. So it feels like if we're going to bring our second and third string guys in, then they need meaningful snaps, not just running the clock.
Yeah.
So agreed, 100% frustrated with that. Also a little frustrated with our run game.
Yeah.
Yes. It's what we're known for, and I get it. Getting Joey some looks, and I know he needs that. I'm not mad at that, but just the lack of I don't know. It's like we're not trying to run it down somebody's throat where we have in the past couple of years, and we got the guys to do it. I mean, it's unreal. We got the guys to do it. I thought Joey looked, for the most part, I thought he was better throwing the deep ball. I texted in our little group, looked like he was throwing off his front foot instead of his back foot, which was good. And then he turned around and threw off his back foot the very next play.
Yeah.
But I thought his rhythm was better. I thought his feet were better. Uh, I I don't know if y'all seen this. What got me going was the opening kickoff. Peyton Lewis was deep and was mad because he did not get a chance to return the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, feed that guy.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
he's a dog and he wants it. And I mean, he ain't gonna be stopped if
No.
we're being honest.
Good
But
luck. Right there.
overall, it's hard to get into those games.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see our guys do what they're supposed to do and maybe work on some stuff that hasn't been working. The we honestly could have scored 200 points if we wanted to. The deep ball was going to be open all day. I mean, literally all day. They could not cover our guys
No.
deep, and maybe give our three guys some confidence going into this week. They definitely need it. So overall, I'm happy we won. Just I hate those games. I just really do.
Yeah.
I hate them.
I wish they wouldn't even schedule them, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I know it's the way now, and they've been doing this since football's been around. They've been Princeton and Yale and whoever else, they were scheduling the up and coming teams because they were the only two on the block, whatever you got. But it doesn't seem like there's any honor in it. Kind of like that ETSU and last year with whoever it was, UTEP or something like that. It just doesn't make any sense.
No, it don't. And so, like, I mean, I know like it's gonna happen because you have to schedule those type teams, but the fact that my biggest thing is the first half you saw the way they reacted, the way they played, the way they executed. That's what you want to see, but you want to see that for 60 minutes with no matter who's in the game.
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously the drop of experience and maybe talent. But there's no reason why you should not be able to go out and execute and be able to be in position and do what you're supposed to do, no matter if you're first team or third string against a team like UAB. And that's what really frustrated me. And so I think after they got back to the locker room, I guarantee you Coach Heupel had some let's just say words for several of the guys because it was not good.
I hope he did. I hope he chewed them like fat, man, because I'm telling you that. And it's a hard game to get up for, and I hate this. I don't like to idolize the man, but Nick Saban would talk about that kind of stuff all the time. I mean, no matter how hard I try to hate Nick Saban, I can't help but see just exactly what made him such a really, truly elite coach to compete against. Because he would have the guys up for a high school team if he could, I mean, not that they would do that, but still, it's just you got to be. And if you're a backup, it doesn't matter who you're playing against. You got to go in there like your hair's on fire and know your assignment and know where you're supposed to be positioned.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's it.
I mean, I think the guys that we brought in the third quarter, that they were running out of place. They were not in position. They were, there was miscommunication. It was just several things that was, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And don't even get me going on Jake Merklinger because that in itself just had me just,
bro, that was bad.
Yeah,
it was really bad. And so, but I think Joey Aguilar, obviously, no matter the game, he brought it. The first string guys brought it. But I could talk about this all night because I hammer it with my guys. No matter what position you are on the roster or depth chart, you have to be locked in and ready to go.
Yeah.
You have to know your assignments. That when you're in film study, you need to know what you're supposed to do if your number is called. and you shouldn't be second guessing yourself. Go out, execute, play fast, play physical. No matter if you're a third string guy or first string guy. And I go and tell you that's what Coach Heupel, that's what Coach Banks, that's what Coach Inge, that's what Coach Gardner, that's what Coach Ellerby, whoever, all of our coaches were hammering on Sunday and Monday when they got back into the thing, because that second half is inexcusable. And I'm y'all gonna get a fired up side out of me, but that second
I want
half,
it. I want it.
Because you're the University of freaking Tennessee, and I get it. It was still a blowout, but to go out there with a lack of motivation and just the inability to execute just really ticked me off.
Yeah,
and
it was hard. It was just hard to watch.
Yeah.
Well, you know what is good to take away from this? There's two things that's good about. One of them directly what you said that it had to do with, and one indirectly. We only had 5 penalties for 50 yards. One of them was complete crap. But anyway, 5 for 50. So that's an improvement on last week. And what you were just saying, it's a good thing that we had a performance like that. I know it seems odd to say it, but if they get chewed up in practice every day and they get motivated to go into this road game off of a poor performance, not all around poor, but on the starters necessarily, but still just an overall, you should have whooped them 70-0. They shouldn't have even crossed the 50. What in the world were y'all doing on Saturday? Kind of a practice week. Going into the biggest trap game, they let our schedule come out last year, and I looked at this game and I said, you know what? Even if we do beat Georgia, which I didn't even expect, but even if we do beat Georgia, Mississippi State then all of a sudden becomes the biggest trap game in the world, just like Arkansas last year, just like Florida 2 years ago, just like Carolina 3 years ago. It goes back to what you were saying earlier. You know, Coach Heupel, he's a great guy, but he has been known to drop one on the road because that road SEC schedule, man.
Yeah.
You get the best team in the last few years in the ACC going up against a road opponent in the SEC. They're probably not going to do so well because it's just different.
Yep.
That's just different in the SEC. And Mississippi State's already beaten Arizona State, which they're not apparently what they were supposed to be this year, even though they got a lot of starters back. But still, they beat Arizona State, was a playoff team last year.
Yeah.
That's probably the best win Mississippi State's had in 10 years, I'd venture to guess. Something close to it, something like that. Since Dak,
it's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. I mean, this team that we're going to play on Saturday, they're very similar in what we do offensively. Jeff Levy is coming off the coaching tree of Coach Heupel and Lane Kiffin, and so there's a lot of similarities in what he does, and so they want to play quick. They do some differences in the run game. And in the pass game, they're a little more intermediate, little shorter stuff. They can do that, but they want to get their athletes to space as what all these veer and shoot teams, all these spread teams, and they want to get and put guys in uncomfortable situations on defense to where they're playing fast. You don't know who you're supposed to guard, and that's where they get you. And then defensively, they're awful against the run.
Yeah,
they're great against the pass, but they're awful against the run. And so, does Tennessee target that? Hopefully, Ethan Davis is back healthy. Hopefully, we get some other guys back healthy. I don't know if David Sanders will be back this week or not. At this point, I don't know. Maybe redshirted. I don't know. I mean, the O-line is doing good enough.
Yeah.
I think there's several things that they can do this week that whether it be run wise or passing wise, that Mississippi State hasn't been able to, stop so far this year. So, Joey, what going to UAB, what they did offensively in the first half and pretty much the whole game. Obviously, we saw a lot of unique formations. They did some stuff to try to create advantages, but because of their lack of talent to what Tennessee's got. What do you think about Tennessee's attack of defense versus their offense this week?
For the most part, I was fine with it. We just I watched the highlights again today, and our defensive line, we're in the backfield. We're just not finishing it. I don't know. It's like we're getting there and then getting stuck. We're about a half a second away from getting a sack.
Getting held.
Yeah, that too. Absolutely. I don't know. I was happy overall for the most part. I thought we were aggressive, and I love that. Seeing some guys make some plays. Everybody was kind of tore up with Boo for the botched punt, which we knew that was coming. The way he's to me, it's hard for me to get mad at him because I know he's just eager, just wanting to get out there and make a play. But he did that. He caused 2 fumbles, one which was picked up in return for a tutty. I don't know. I think our defensive backs, for whatever reason, maybe it was for injury, for trying to stay out of injuries, maybe for I don't know, but they just played soft.
Yeah.
They just I don't know. I want to play the same way. It don't matter who I play.
Yeah. I agree.
And that's tough for me. That's tough for me to watch. I did like Arion Carter felt like he was all over the field. I felt like he was all over the field, and I think that was one of Tom's points that he made last week. So I was glad to see that. T-Lander was in the face of the quarterback a few times, especially on the interception. Turntime made a great play there, by the way. That was very impressive. I thought Ty had a great game. Colton Hood had a great game. Obviously they scored on they had one on our starting defense, but still it was when we were playing lazy.
Well, that is one of those unique formations where they put 2 guys to the boundary. To the boundary, and had offensive lineman and a guy down there on the bottom side, and create a spacing and a matchup to where it just confused the guys. It was a 2-on-2. They did.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, I know it's tough. It's tough.
That's what that's how they got to score in games like that. I get it. Speaking of formations, and it has nothing to do against Tennessee or has nothing to do with Tennessee and UAB, but what about the crap that Oklahoma got away with?
I have a different opinion on that one. I'm of the mindset that if
I like to play. I've done the play
for sure, yeah. But it was a little sneaky now that
because of the rule they made. That's what's
the rule being what it is. Technically, they should have thrown the flag. But I think, hey, all's fair in love and football, man.
I'll say this: Auburn got hosed about 3 or 4 times in that game that probably could have changed the outcome. Anyway,
interference, for
sure. I'll stick back to Tennessee UAB. Sorry.
No,
you made a good point, though. You brought up a good segue for me because penalties are one of my top 3 things. You got to be disciplined. So that includes not committing penalties, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Mississippi State has they have one of the bottom 5 least penalized teams in the SEC right now. That's tremendous. And if you're an underdog with 30 seniors, they got 30 seniors on their team.
That's probably one of their least penalized teams.
It may be. And it may also be that their coach said, look, fellas, nobody's expecting anything from us. I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes that message can get a team more motivated than anything. Look, nobody's expecting anything from you. So if you play disciplined, sound football and you're in the right position, you're going to win some games because you're going to catch big teams like big Tennessee's coming to town, just like they came into Fayetteville last year. You might catch them napping. So that's a good segue, though. And of course, if you go in expecting that you're going to get screwed by a ref here and there, or if you go into a game expecting that you're just going to get hosed constantly and you man up anyway and you still go in and you steamroll them, then you really did something.
Yeah.
You really did something. And I see it online all the time. Our fan base crying about, oh, well, such and such, could have been called such and such. Well, it could be called for every team. That Auburn receiver that's getting tackled with the ball floating over top of him, and they didn't call it. They didn't call that. Then pass interference doesn't exist if they didn't call that.
I mean, it's kind of like our pass interference that led to a interception Saturday.
Yes,
he's all over our guy. Anyway,
yeah.
So, Tom, so what? Going back to the UAB, so what did you like the defense? What the defense did primarily in the first half? We could beat the second half in the ground all day because we all three of us as fans and as former football players and as coaches, we didn't like it. But the first half, obviously, our top guys were in. There's several positive things. What did you like and what did you not like in that first half?
That was the first game that I listened to the whole thing on the radio this year, and then I rewatched it. And if anybody out there listening has not listened to a game on the radio, just do it once or twice. If you want to start with a basketball game, that's really something to try and visualize everything that's going on. And Mike Keith does a great job. I love him to death already. I did enjoy – it might have just been the way he called it on the radio, but I did enjoy hearing that we did not miss as many tackles as we did in the Georgia game.
Yeah.
Now, of course, level of opponent, big difference, but not as many missed tackles. Defensively, you actually did bring up one of my points a second ago. I wanted to hear AC's name all over the place, and it wasn't quite as much as I would have liked just to hear, as far as the types of plays and the context that they were, but you heard his name a lot. If you're hearing it on the radio, then he's the main focal point of doing something. So, that paid off. I don't want us running this 4-2 soft zone anymore.
Yeah. No,
it's just, I'm sorry, man. I'm 1990s run up in a 4-4 or a 4-3 and drop one of those guys into an unexpected cover, deep cover or something like that. So we've got the athletes to do it. Yeah. We really do. And this is where we're really missing that kid that transferred out. Jalen, was it Jalen Smith or something?
Jalen Smith.
He was like a DB linebacker, stand-up defensive end mix that they wanted to have. Could have really used him, all SEC freshman. Don't know why he transferred out. They got to get rid of the transfer portal because it's killing football. But, this is one of those instances where you got to get out of that 4-2 and stop running soft zone and letting them chip underneath because, for real, Mississippi State, they threw it for 279 yards and 3 TDs against Arizona State when they beat them. They're going to chip them to death. Yeah. And, Georgia had some big plays, big unexpected plays. Of course, the tie-in touchdown was ridiculous. That was perfect, beautiful ball. I hate it. But they did chip us to death. They chipped us to death. They ran it, knew that we were going to run soft. I don't really have any tremendously positive things other than I did hear AC's name a lot. And on the replay, when I watched, it was apparent he was making plays for sure. Yeah.
I think overall, and we'll get to the offensive side of the ball in a second.
Mm-hmm.
I think overall the defense was in the first half with all the different formations, with all the uniqueness they were throwing at us. I thought they were locked in and ready to go. I thought outside of that one drive in that one play where they called us in 2x2 and they just got a little switch free release, I guess would be the best way to put it, where they caught us off guard and guys out our defensive backs were playing outside shade and they took double end releases. One of them did like a skinny post, the other one did like a 10-yard or 8-yard dig and just got underneath us and made one guy miss and took it to the house. Yep. So I think there's a lot that defensively we could build on. And I thought Tyree Weathersby played a good game for the time he was in. I thought Caleb Herron built off another strong game.
He did.
the time he was in. I thought Jamal Wallace played really well. There's several of those interior front seven guys that I thought played really well. And outside of the muff punt, I thought Boo Carter looked like he was getting back to speed on the defensive side of the ball. He was making plays all over the field, doing what you want him to start doing. Because I have a feeling if Jamal McCoy don't come back soon, they're going to have to start sliding Jalen McMurray out where Ty Redmond is some, because these teams are going to, I love Ty Redmond. I love me some Ty Redmond, but you don't want him out there for 90 snaps.
Do you think that's why we went into that, like that 4-2 soft coverage because of what happened?
I know that's what it is. Which, Jalen Kitna was sitting there willing and dealing.
He was.
I'll give it to him. That dude.
We made him look like a superstar.
Well, he should have never left Florida. He'd be better off. Lagway's
probably be starting right now.
He probably would.
Lagway's in a boot right now, so I don't know if he's going to be playing this weekend.
Bro, that's fake. He's leaving.
Yeah,
he's leaving.
He might do a hypo there on the injury list, but you just brought up a name just a second ago, Coach Rice. You just dropped a name of a guy that I had not put enough thought into this. I was all about Edris Farouk having a heck of a year, but Jalen McMurray, as a senior,
in there, man.
He's doing okay. But as far as just really helping direct things, need to know exactly what system you're running and exactly where people need to be lined up and all that. I want him to just dominate on Saturday against State. I kind of jumped the gun, burying the point of emphasis later on, but he's the guy that I want to have the best game.
Well, I agree with you, because they got a guy named Kevin Coleman. Not Kevin Coleman. Not Kevin Coleman. Brendan Thompson, that runs like a 4.2 in the slot, and he's just crazy fast. And so our slots, our stars, and our safeties are going to have to be locked in on Saturday, wherever that guy is, because he's a burner. And so, we got to be ready to go Saturday, because, like I said early in the show, they tried to do what Tennessee does: get you lined up, in a wrong place, and then gap you in the run game, or catch you on a seam, and get the safeties out of place or your slot corners out of place, and cause mismatches. So, all that being said, we defensively, offensively, obviously Joey Aguilar was willing and dealing again in the first half. He accurate, getting the ball where it needs to be. The RPO game, this dude, I think he's done better than Hendon Hooker in the RPO scheme. Now, straight passing, Hendon Hooker was unbelievable. But in the RPO scheme, this dude is making his read and delivering it where it goes. That ball that he threw, he's thrown a couple balls to Braylon Staley and Miles Kitson over the middle. He has to read the linebackers quick, understand that they're sinking into the gaps, and then throwing it over their heads. That's what we've missed the last 2 years, because Nico and Joe Milton were absolutely freaking awful at it. They could not do it. They were both downright dog crap pathetic. And for other people on other shows, they were bad. Especially last year, he was really bad. And so I think there's a lot that we need to realize what Joey Aguilar's brought to this offense, brought to the game plan, what we can add to brought to the scheme. And it's not only that, these wide receivers are making massive plays too. So, Joey, what would you say what you saw on Saturday? Obviously we've been seeing this all year, being explosive, creating big plays. But what did you see on Saturday that you loved, that you liked?
I love I love being aggressive, throwing the ball down the field, and we did that several times. Um, I think that the playbook is endless, and I was telling Coach Rice before we went live that Deshaun Bishop said we hadn't even really unpacked a lot of that playbook, which is fine, I guess. I don't know. We're about to come into the meat of the schedule, obviously.
Yeah.
But a couple of plays that we did Saturday, I still scratching my head why we didn't use against Georgia. I'll never understand that. The option play is perfect.
Yes.
My man saying right here, the shovel pass. Both of those plays went for tutties, by the way. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I don't know. I like the aggressiveness. I'm fine with us coming out throwing. Me and my dad were talking about it. My dad's been a lifelong Tennessee fan, and he was talking about it the other day. He's like, it's like once we come out throwing and get hot, Aguilar is perfect. I mean, he's 14 and 14 to start the game against Georgia. He was 6 or 6, something like that, coming out again, just starting hot. And then we try to start running the ball, and he comes out and he loses his groove a little bit.
Yeah.
So we got to find some kind of consistency between the run game and the passing game where Aguilar don't lose his groove with it, but we're also effective with the run game because to me this season we have not been.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, we've run for over 200 yards a couple times. Don't get me wrong, but it hasn't been dominant like it has been. It just hadn't, and so I don't. I for the most part I loved what I saw. I like the aggressiveness. I like us taking the shots. I thought Joey looked a lot better. His reads are unreal. The play where he escaped getting the sack and rolled out and made the throw.
Crazy.
That was sick, man.
Great play.
That was sick. Nico would have ran out of bounds after a 2-yard loss or something. But I like that. I like the fact that he's willing to do that. I think that comes with him being experienced and playing a bunch of games in his career. But I believe that it's only up from here. Personally, I was talking to a Mississippi State fan today, and they said, how you feeling about this weekend? I said, bro, you don't talk to me about this weekend. Y'all are 4-0 for the first time in 75 years. Don't play with me.
Yeah.
Are they really for 75 years?
No, I'm being silly. I don't know.
I was going to say, great day.
I promise it's probably been a while.
No, Dak Prescott year was the last year they were undefeated.
Okay. Because I knew we played them in 98 for the SEC title game, and I think they lost. I think they lost one game that regular season, and then they lost to us. So that was a heck of a year they had.
Yeah. And I'm being silly, obviously, but I know they're successful so far this year, and that's fine. But you got to stop a Tennessee offense that's been unstoppable.
That's for sure. And to hit on what you were just talking about with Joey, I think he's had so much experience, which is good for us. He was able to pick everything up, which has been tremendous. I wasn't a hater or a doubter.
Right.
But I just didn't think he was going to be able to pick up the reins that quickly. And like Coach Rice, you just said, the last two QBs we had a 17th year senior and a first year starter that was supposed to be Mr. Universe. Neither of them could grasp it, but then you got a guy that was almost going to be a firefighter full time.
Right.
Running the offense like it's meant to do. Like Hendon Hooker's probably somewhere watching that game against Georgia, like just going ballistic, like just cheesing. And it's crazy because what you were just saying, Joe, I don't know if it's like an adrenaline thing. I've never played quarterback, but it must be an adrenaline thing for him and a mixture of that with confidence, because when he got to slinging it and just couldn't miss. Now, some receivers made some serious plays for him to go 14 of 14, but he was just feeling it. And then you start running the ball, and he did get a little cold there. We got productively running the ball, like you said, like we had for the last few years. We've got to come out and bulldoze Mississippi State's defensive line. Sam Pendleton missed I love Sam Pendleton. He might be my second favorite player on the team this year, but he missed his assignment on a block that we still got 5 yards. That's terrible to be nitpicking about stuff like that. But against Alabama or against even Mississippi State this weekend, they're not going to get 5 yards if your center misses a block. It's just now he didn't whiff it, but his first step was supposed to be inside, play side to the right, and he kind of did that stutter step instead of taking one solid 6-inch step. It just I watched it over and over, and I said, "Sam, you're killing me. You're killing me, bud."
He's too experienced for that.
Yeah, well, and then it's just the small things like Miles Kisselman against Georgia. We had a touchdown. Deshaun Bishop had a touchdown. It would have been at least a 30. I think we were around the 30, mid-30s. Mm-hmm. Oh, it was the drive after the strip fumble, and the first run that they handed to Deshaun. But if Miles Kisselman gets the block, it's a touchdown.
Yeah,
I looked it back. I watched it again this week because I'm still frustrated about that game because the plays were there. We just but that first play, if y'all ever get a chance to go back, watch Miles Kitselman miss his kick block. All he had to do was kick the defensive end and kick him out. He lowered his shoulder and just whiffed. I mean, he never touched the dude. And the guy, if that's the play where Deshaun Bishop had a little bit of hole, but the D lineman got his foot, and then Deshaun Bishop kind of lost his balance, got like a yard or two, and just fell down because he was trying to gather his feet. But it's the little things against elite teams or just SEC teams in general that you cannot make those type of mistakes and expect to win week after week after week,
especially on the road.
Especially on the road.
Especially having dropped one against Arkansas last year. Yep.
Missouri the year before and South Carolina the year before that.
Yep.
It's just those are the things that Coach Heupel and this staff, which I think Coach Heupel and this team, which I mean they did against Georgia and it's at home, so it's inexcusable. But I think this team is better prepared to not have one of those games than what we had in those other years.
Yeah.
I just think they're better prepared. Coach Heupel's going to be talking about it all week. I go ahead and tell you, this being the first true road game of the season. Don't go in there and sleep.
I think your leadership's next level too on this team.
Yes, I agree.
To not let the guys come out flat, per se.
Yeah.
Mississippi State they'll be good, don't get me wrong, but to me, they got to stop us, and I think our defense is good enough to stop them.
Yeah,
that's and I mean I don't know. Obviously, we'll probably have a game or two this year where we're not at our best. Don't get me wrong, but who on our schedule is if we're operating like we've been operating, who's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Who's going to throw a wrench in that plan?
I'm on the same boat you are because Georgia's going to be the toughest defense we play.
Yeah.
And
I said the same thing.
41 points on Georgia.
And could have put up several more. That's the thing.
Oklahoma's going to be stout.
They are good.
Yeah, they're going to be stout.
But they got to come to Neyland.
Oklahoma. Now, I know they just got away with a couple of really blown – I mean, that no pass interference against
the two fumbles.
Or
whatever they call them.
As far as like strictly run defense and all that, I mean, they absolutely just clamp down. And I know that there's nuances to it. Like when you watch a game and you see how the breaks are rolling in for you or they're rolling out against you, there are certain moments in a game. All three of us know this. There's people in the chat know this. There are key moments in a game where you just got to make a daggone play.
Yeah.
And it's going to change the whole trajectory of the game. And that happens every single play. And if that makes any sense, you know what I mean? It's just that every play's got to be the whole game. It's like, all right, well, you know what? On this one and OU, I'm a little bit different on that schedule. I've given how the Georgia game ended with the way it ended and the mistakes that were made to end it and the constantly horrible defensive lack of scheme from the coaching staff I have questions about Mississippi State. I have questions about Arkansas. I've got serious doubts about Alabama and Kentucky. I'm scared as all get out about Oklahoma. And don't even get me started on going to the swamp. My battered post-traumatic Vol syndrome.
Your battered Vol syndrome is
it is
really bad high right now.
And
I almost said something. I was like, calm down, buddy. Calm down, buddy.
If we come out and dominate Mississippi State and then we pull one in after the bye week against Arkansas in dominant fashion at home, get revenge, then I'll be like, okay, well, you know what? 5-1 for the first half. Let's go ahead and do either 5-1 or 6-0 for the second half, and let's kill it. But if they come out slow, sleeping, letting them get 400 yards of offense against our defense in Starkville this weekend, it's just gonna.
Well, but the thing is, and this is what I kind of take as a good optimistic, note on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what before Angeli got hurt. Look what Syracuse has done since they played us.
100%.
True.
Look at Georgia, who's got elite players all over the field.
Mm-hmm.
We outside of a couple bad plays, bad routes, Georgia doesn't score that many, and lucky break there at the end. That Humphreys kid and what's his name couldn't make that throw again another day.
No way, no
and
shot.
So, you looking at the schedule there, and we're going to wrap up UAB here in a second. But you got Mississippi State. That's them. I'm not really worried about as Arkansas as much as I am Mississippi State, even though I think Arkansas is way more talented.
Their offense is better.
Their offense is better, but the Mississippi State game being on the road, considering our struggles on the road, what coach until I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, I'll see it when I.
No, you said it right.
Yeah. So, you're right. Mississippi State, go handle that. Then it makes me feel a little better.
Mm-hmm.
But the Arkansas game, I think they're gonna have a chip on their shoulder. What's his name at Green? Tyler Green is a dynamic playmaker.
Dude, he's their leading rusher.
Yeah,
he's got 380 rush yards.
Yeah. Their quarterback is their leading rusher.
Yes,
he's really good.
Just made me even more worried about Arkansas, man.
Yeah. I'm more worried about Arkansas than Mississippi State, if I'm worried at all. But Arkansas could stop Memphis, and my God, they're not going to stop us.
Well, that's why I was just saying. Sam makes up a great point down here, and we got to get Sam. I got the chat up. I mean, the link up in the chat. If you want to scroll up, I'll put it back in here in a second. But their defense is pathetic, and so I'm not really worried about Arkansas or Mississippi State. I think we're going to be able to put up 50 points. The way I see this year folding out is a lot like 2022. I think we're just a hair better defensively than 2022, but I think we're going to have to go score 40 points a game to get to where we want to get. A lot of people are going to not like that, but if that means we score 40 points a game and the other team scores 28 and we, get a touchdown or two late, it just is what it is. Because it's not really, it's out of our control because we have so many injuries on the interior of the D-line. Our top two defensive backs are out. I mean, those are critical, very, very important positions. Yes, Colton Hood's been playing out of his tail. Like, he has been,
superstar.
Yeah, superstar for us. And Ty Redmond, for, being a true freshman coming in, doing his thing, he's been great outside of a few, bad plays against Georgia. But you can't make up the replacing Omari Thomas, Omar Norman-Lott. You lose David Hobbs, you lose Jackson Moore. You can't make Elijah Simmons. You can't make that up and just think that interior D-line is just going to be fine. Mm-hmm. There's a massive difference in them. And don't get me wrong, I love me some Dominique Bailey. I love me and Bryson Eason, but they can't be playing 65 snaps a game. They just can't. It's a massive difference from what we were doing last year when we were rotating guys were getting 20 to 25 snaps a game to what we're doing this year. And so defensively, I just think you're going to have to go out and score. I mean, offensively, I think you're going to have to go out and score 40 points a game. What do you think about that, Joey?
Oh, 100%. That's what I was saying. And again, Aguilar can come out and suck one game and we'd be in trouble. I understand that, but at the same time, you're going to have to prove to me that you can stop our dude. Now, defensively, Florida is fantastic.
Yeah,
they just are. They can't score points. That's their problem.
yeah,
They got a quarterback that likes the other team more.
yeah.
If we go, you brought up the Georgia. We're 2 tackles away from winning that game.
Yeah.
We talked about the offensive miscues, but we're 2 tackles away from winning that game. If McMurray takes a better angle at Branch on the sideline touchdown, again, they could have scored another play, but some of the plays that we missed that they scored on were like third down.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we couldn't get off the field. That's what killed us. So I think if we can clutch up there and step up when we have to and get off the darn field, that changes everything. And
well, buckle up, bud, because Mississippi State 7 of 11 for 4th down this year.
Right. Hopefully we can get to it. Does their quarterback move at all? I haven't really watched anything they do.
He's a lot like Aguilar. He's not very versatile, but he can move. He's got a lot of the same tendencies. Both really good downfield throwers of the ball. But both kind of stocky, not like big, but they can take a hit. So both of them are pretty solid as far as SEC style quarterbacks. Rocky Top Tom, what's your as far as the finishing up the UAB game? And I'm going to get Sam's final thoughts on the UAB game as well. What would you just kind of wrapping a bow on that game? What were you thinking about as far as what you would like to see in games like that moving forward, and what else?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would throw the ball never, honestly, if I was a coach again. And in a game like that, yeah, we ran for 235, but I'd have run it for 400 and just said, hey, Joe, if you get to throw the ball 3 or 4 times this game, just be happy with it, like that. I don't know. I love that they got Peyton the ball a bunch, but I just want to see backs the whole time.
Georgia Tech and Navy's calling you, brother.
Yeah, man. I tell you, that old school offense. Yeah. I did like, though, how they got Kitzelman the ball a few more times. Yeah. I think he had, 3 catches for first downs.
Yeah.
And they were all, I think, 8 to 10 yard catches, and he might have had a 4th one that I'm forgetting, but that I counted, he did have 3 first down grabs. That was awesome. So if you are going to throw the ball, throw it underneath like that a little more. But that's all, really. But, yeah, what's up, Sam? Good to see you, man.
What's up, brother?
Man? I'm here to combat the BVS, man. I can't stand for it.
I need it.
Yeah, we all struggle with it, but Tom's one of those that he has to take medicine for it every day.
I do. The doctor told me it's the worst case of post-traumatic vol he'd ever seen, man.
Yeah. Yep. So, what's your thoughts on the UAB game, Sam? And then we're going to go do like a little quarter of the year breakdown, and then what we think about the rest of the year, and just I'll get your thoughts a little quick thought about the Mississippi State game. So go ahead and give us that UAB game thought.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first half went pretty much how I thought it would. I don't care about the second half at all. I mean, I know, you don't want to see I just don't think they cared at all.
Well, so that's what
in the second half.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah, that's one, and I'm sorry for interrupting you, Sam. But
no, I get it.
But that's if you're an SE and you're trying to prove that you deserve playing time or that you want to be an NFL football player at some point in your career, you can't go out there and, not play with passion or not know your assignment. And that's probably just my coach in me speaking. But I mean, sorry, I'll let you keep going.
No, it is a good point. It's just coming off the Georgia game, and you're up 42-7. Man, that's hard to get anyone to focus in too much. And so this is an overall thing, though. When we score the way we do, as quickly as possible, it's going to be very hard to keep shut down teams offensively because they're just going to do anything possible to score.
True.
I mean, we're the first 3 games, we're like 2 throws away from holding Georgia to 30, Syracuse under 20, and then ETSU scored on a botched fumble.
Yeah.
So you're at 19 points a game.
Yeah.
For 2 throws, if you can convert them. But God, man, we've given up some 3rd and 15s and 4th and 10s that are just I like slam my hand on the couch and my dad's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, I'm just so sick of seeing it.
Yeah.
Frankly. But
soft.
Yeah, so
like that.
We'll see in the second half, This is really on both sides of the ball. We've got some young guys in key positions that should only get better as the season goes on, but we got to see some progression. So this Mississippi State game, I guess to transition to that, the way our offensive line is playing, I don't think any team's holding us to under 40.
Yeah,
I really
I'm
don't.
Right there with you. I'm right there with you.
How many points we give up, that's what I'm more curious to see.
Especially with what you said. That was a great point. We're scoring so quickly.
21. We're scoring 21 in 7 minutes. All of a sudden, they're throwing out formations with 8 guys on the left. So it's like, and the defense is like, well, we didn't expect to see this. So I'll give them a little bit of grace on that because it's just phenomenal with as quick as we score. Georgia saw us march down the field, and the first pass play they called was a bomb because they're like, okay, this is a different looking Tennessee offense.
Yep.
Yeah. These teams are going to really. We were just literally talking about before you came on. Sam, that they're going to realize that this offense is pretty much dang near unstoppable, and until you realize that you're gonna it reminds me of the teams in 2022 that we faced, where every team we played, they would go for it on 4th down constantly because they know if they give up their possession, that's a whole possession that Tennessee's going to get an opportunity to score again, and that just puts you further away from from what Tennessee's doing. So I agree. What you're saying. The defense, it's a massive reason why outside of the injuries with Jamal McCoy, Ricky Gibson, and Jackson Moy and David Hobbs, those are the 4 big ones. And so until you get some of those guys back, which unfortunately Ricky Gibson won't be back, but you're going to have to just keep scoring. I think the defense will improve dramatically especially when you get David Hobbs and Jackson Moy and Jamal McCoy. I mean, those are 3 game changers on the defensive side of the ball. So, I agree. I think you were spot on with that, Sam. I think you're going to have to score 40 points at least, and I think ain't nobody going to stop us from doing that. It's just the defense that you're worried about. So you can keep going with what you were saying, Sam.
I mean, the good thing on this defense is they have shown an ability to create turnovers.
Yeah.
Which getting into some of these SEC games, especially on the road, that's a big advantage. 2022, Apple really didn't struggle on the road other than South Carolina, which is shrouded in its own mystery, we'll say. That was just, they were like a 30-point favorite and lost by 30. It's statistically like one of the most unlikely things that can happen. So
without some help.
I'll bet you if they played that game again right now with those players, you just teleport yourself back in time, they probably lose by 20.
Oh,
Rattler had the game of his life. He'll never do that again.
Yeah, and next week against Clemson, the two teams that Michigan needed to
that's
to
true.
lose.
Yeah, I misspoke.
But anyways, that's the past. But
Mm-hmm.
I just really don't think anyone's going to stop this offense. The way the offensive line's playing, I wrote some pieces before the season why I thought this offensive line could be the best of the Heupel era, and it's just completely happened.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it: 41 on a Kirby Smart defense, the third game into a new receiving core,
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback.
4 new offensive linemen, and a transfer quarterback who'd been here for 3 months. It's they can only get crisper. That option played Saturday. That was fun to watch, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was it just made me mad. That's all it did.
That we didn't use it.
Why in the world would you not? Anyway,
Joe, we're like the same, man. I'm telling you. When I heard it on the radio, I'm sitting there spitting. I was so mad because they didn't run against
that and the shovel pass. It was stupid. Like, why are you using that on UAB of all teams?
That's like when they had Joe Milton run that option keeper 2 years ago against, what was it, UTEP or something dumb like that. But they kept him under wraps throwing bubble screens against Alabama. I was like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The stark difference in the offense from Aguilar to Merklinger is just it was crazy. It was almost like transporting yourself back to last year. For as soon as he came in, you're like, oh, there's Nico 2.0.
Yeah.
And it's
but
we need Aguilar to stay healthy, that's for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. Or I want G-Mac because, I mean, there's no – hey, Merck is not reading the field because there was times we had wide receivers open. He's not reading the field. While we're just not running the ball constantly when he's in the game because they weren't fit to stop our run game. I don't know. A lot of questions there in that second half, and y'all going to get me back going on it. But Joey, so we pretty much all four kind of talked about our take on the UAB game.
Mm-hmm.
Got to the quarter part of the season. Obviously, lots of surprises, a lot of great surprises from what we've had so far this season as far as the play, the execution of this offense. Unfortunate injuries on the defensive side of the ball. But we're 3-1, kind of where we all expected to be. Obviously, though, we wish we could be 4-0. But 3-1, we got Mississippi State coming up, got bye week, then we got Arkansas, which I think that bye week's coming at a perfect time.
100%.
And so going into the next quarter or next third of the season, what do you want to see with State, Arkansas, Alabama, and Kentucky going down this stretch? What do you want to see and what do you expect to see?
Well, it's tough because they're 3 away games, but man, if I'm worried about any of them, it's Alabama.
Yeah.
Just because of the rivalry, and we got to go there. But again, like, I don't see them stopping us either.
Yeah.
So I would love to believe we'll be 4-0 in the next 4 coming into the Oklahoma game. It's like I said, it's the meat of the schedule. It's the biggest part of the schedule coming in, and I don't want us to get comfortable at all because I felt, to me, we had the bye week and then we went and played Arkansas and we were flat, bro. God, we were flat, and you could tell. I don't want us to get comfortable because our offense is playing well. I think somebody needs to light a fire under Tim Banks, and get some of these things ironed out, because as much as we can score, it would be nice to stop teams from scoring and moving the ball. Syracuse, they're a couple plays away from that game being close too, to be honest with you. We got lazy. We got comfortable, and I can't stand that. We got comfortable in the Georgia game in the second quarter, and that honestly, the second quarter is what beat us.
Yep.
In my honest to God opinion, we absolutely just did nothing in that second quarter. So I don't want us to get complacent and comfortable in games. Just step on their throat and end it. Don't let up. Don't they tell the kids not to let up till they hear the whistle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't let up until you hear the final horn, coach. Call the darn game. That's my thing. I can't stand us being lazy. And I sent that thing to y'all in the text this week at what Hub said. I don't know how true it is, whatever. But it looked like it. I mean, it could be an excuse, but it honestly looked like it. We just got lazy. And if we do that, we could lose a couple of these next 4.
Yeah. No,
I mean, as much as I'm not concerned about it, that we can go score against anybody, I fully believe that. We got to get our defense improved, because what if, God forbid, something does happen to Aguilar, and then we do have to have a defense step up and make
my
some
worst
plays.
nightmare.
Yeah, 100%. So
my worst nightmare.
Somebody needs to jump in Tim Banks' face and tell him get his crap together so we can play defensive football again.
Yeah. This is the toughest stretch. You just said that 4 games. They released this schedule. And like I said earlier, when I saw this schedule, just like last year, if we started the season at a certain record, which we did last year, I couldn't believe we beat Oklahoma on the road. That was great. But, that Arkansas all of a sudden just became the biggest turf monster in the world.
Yep.
For me, Mississippi State, and then Arkansas, and then Alabama, go on the road to Kentucky. We don't fare well traditionally against Arkansas, which blows my mind.
Right.
I don't understand. They cost us a title in '89. They didn't win but 2 games that year, and we lost that 1 game. And then last year in Fayetteville, I don't understand Arkansas. I cannot ever get my head around it. And we don't play well in Alabama. Unless it's Peyton Manning era, we don't play well in Alabama. I know Casey had a good game there. I think Joey's probably going to have a really good game. But this stretch, State, Arkansas, Alabama, and Kentucky, it just makes my socks disappear into my shoes because they're afraid. We need to come out and run the football. And we need to stop him on defense. Joey's going to have a good game because apparently he's just a football player, He's just a good quarterback in this system. He fits it like a hand in a glove. But
absolutely,
we got to come out wanting to beat them 80-0 every game, but especially this stretch. You got to. If you don't turn the ball over, that's probably going to be the key to these next 4 games.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 of those teams are high-powered offenses.
Yes, they are.
So you're going to have to be ready to score. I mean, Mississippi State's putting up 30-something points a game. Arkansas is putting up almost 40 plus. I mean, I know they are putting up 40 plus a game. And Alabama, ever since the first game of the year, they've been, cooking as well. So I'm not worried about Kentucky. We'll blow the shit out of Kentucky. So, it just is what it is. We're going to blow Kentucky. I'm not worried about them at all. But they're probably the worst team in the SEC this year by far, and it's not even close. So, but Arkansas is Mississippi State, Alabama. They all give different reasons to make you concerned. Sam, what would be your thoughts going into these 4 games? What would be your biggest concern against those 4 teams?
I think the only thing that would make me concerned about the games is if we had one of the games where we just got unlucky with turnovers.
Yeah.
That would be the only thing that would worry me. I'm not worried. Last year, now that we know what Nico is, we could have predicted a game where our team was just asleep. Because they didn't have a leader.
Yeah.
This guy's a leader. I don't think the team's going to be sleeping through anything because they got that guy at the helm.
Yeah.
That's what I think. But the Alabama game, Florida State made their offensive line look like crap.
They did.
And I think we can do the same thing. Especially if we get Hobbs and Moy back. Because they're huge dudes, but the left tackle, Caden Proctor, we got guys that can get around him quickly.
Yeah.
So I think the D line will need to have a big game against Alabama to maybe cause some turnovers for them. But I don't think the offense is going to slow down on any of these games. I'm
Yeah.
definitely not worried about Kentucky. I'm in Kentucky right now.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about them.
I'm sorry you're in Kentucky.
Oh, it's the worst. It's one of the worst places on earth.
It is.
I've only been there.
I've never been to hell, but I've been to Kentucky. So
same thing.
hey guys, I got to jump out, but appreciate talking to you.
Oh, heck yeah.
Go Vols.
Always.
See you,
Go
buddy.
Vols.
Oh, see you, buddy.
Yeah. I visited an ex-girlfriend. So I dated a girl when I was in high school that her whole family lived in Kentucky. She brought me home for Thanksgiving. I wore this exact sweatshirt the whole time right here. And I had bought this sweatshirt at the Kentucky game that we had beat their ass by like 30 the year before. And it was just awesome.
Yeah.
That's probably the reason she's an ex.
Yeah.
It might be.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, those 4 games we talked about, obviously are going to be key for the success of this team moving forward. Real quick, let's get a take on the last 4 games. And like I said, later this week it'll be either Friday night or Saturday morning. We'll do a full-on preview show of Mississippi State, dive into their roster, what they do, keys and MVPs and all that. And I'll get that out live, whether it be on Twitter or Facebook. So make sure y'all follow along and share that out once I get it posted. So let's go ahead and dive into what's your take on the last 4 games from the quarter point of the schedule, and then we'll wrap it up. So Joey, what on those last 4? Oklahoma, New Mexico State. Obviously, that's a piece of cake. But Florida, and Vanderbilt. What's your take on those last 4?
I said if you go all the way back to our original us breaking down the schedule, the scariest game on the schedule to me was going to Florida that late in the season.
Yeah.
Because last year they sucked in the beginning and they turned it around.
Yeah.
And we're probably the hottest team in football at the end of the season. This year looks different, though. I mean, they're bad, but they're really bad.
Yeah.
It looks like the coach doesn't have the locker room at all.
No.
I mean, there were rumors 2 weeks ago that the quarterback was going to sit out the rest of the year, take a red shirt, and then transfer. And now here he is in a boot after week 4. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, they're okay, but Auburn shot themselves in the foot 100 times to lose that game to them.
Yeah.
Now, Auburn could not run the ball.
Mm-mm.
I think it was the third quarter when they finally had a run more than 5 yards. Dude broke one for about 30 or 40. I can't remember what it was, but up until that point, I think they had 2 yards of rushing in the third quarter. Mm-hmm. I don't think we'll have that problem against Oklahoma, obviously, because we do have a very, very balanced attack. New Mexico State, that's whatever. Another one of them games that I probably don't want to watch. The Florida game is key. With Vanderbilt coming to Tennessee after they have put all this crap on the Netflix show, if we don't score 900 points against them, I might burn all my Tennessee stuff.
No,
like if Hypo don't come out, like all the trash that they have talked, and he don't come out and win the state, me and him gonna have a problem. I'll drive to Knoxville and find out where homie lives, and we'll have a conversation.
Yeah.
If Pavia is not sacked 10 times in that game, I'm gonna have a problem.
Yeah,
man. There's no way that you don't go into that game probably more hyped than any of them because kind of like last year, we come out flat against them and we're down bad to start, and all we gotta do is win and we're in.
Yeah,
to the playoffs. It was a whole ordeal. It could be the same thing again this year. It very well could be the same exact situation this year. And I think they're improved. I do. I think Vanderbilt is improved. I'm talking all that trash because, but at the same time, I don't see they beat a South Carolina team without their quarterback.
Yeah.
They beat who they beat this week?
Oh, they beat Helen
was it?
Keller Technical A&M or something like
That's
that.
right. It wouldn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Their first game of the year was against a semi-good team, and they can't. They're a second half team, and that's what you got to watch with them.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think I'll say for the next 8 games, we're either 8-0 or 7-1. That's my pick.
Oh my goodness! You know who they beat last weekend was Georgia State.
That's right.
Good night and a half. Yeah.
Yep.
You know, Bob Nealon was hired at Tennessee, and the athletic director told him one thing. He said, "Your contract stipulates that you beat Vanderbilt."
Yeah.
And he talked about that on a regular basis because he made such a business of beating the piss out of Vanderbilt every year. After it had become apparent that you had to work out a few wins in the first, I think he had 3 different stretches. I can't remember what the gap was in one of the stretches between 2 of his times, but one, of course, was when he was overseas during World War II. But he came back twice after being gone and said, you know what, the goal's still the same. We've got to win the state. We've got to beat Vanderbilt. And this year, Vanderbilt's jumped up. I mean, last year, yeah, they beat Alabama. Well, everybody beat Alabama last year. Even Michigan beat Alabama on a down year when they were rebuilding. That was a heck of a football game, by the way. But, I mean, this year, Vanderbilt, they look the part. They've got nothing to lose because it's their coach's, second year, third year, fourth year, third year, I think.
Alabama? Hold on, Alabama?
No, Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt, third
year. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're coaching and playing to their players' strengths, which is great. It's kind of Heupel-esque in 2022, you know. I mean, he's playing to his guys' strength. He's putting them where they can win football games, and it scares the hell out of me. Oklahoma, you know, that game scares me a lot, but I am really, really interested to see after how Oklahoma's defensive line handled Auburn completely on their own. They handled Auburn, just that front 7, but specifically their defensive line, particularly at the end of the game. I want to see how our O-line matches up with their defensive line. If our O-line pushes them and their feet are dug into the ground and our O-line pushes them back, it's on, baby. It's on. And it's not going to stop till the end of the whole game. And I just can't wait for that one. But, yeah, Florida kind of makes me nervous. We just don't win in Florida. Steve Spurrier said if it hadn't been for Tennessee, we wouldn't have won 3 SEC championships that we did. You know, I mean, and I know he used to troll the hell out of Tennessee all the time, but that's probably true because what, Joey, you said a few minutes ago, man, they played us early for all those years.
Yep.
Turn their season around sometimes. It really did. They'd have a 750 or 800 ball club because in game 3 or 4, whatever it was, they played Tennessee and they beat us.
Yep.
Just me.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I'm right there with y'all. I mean, I think that Oklahoma game, I'm trying to go to that. I think that's going to be the game we end up going to. But that game is going to be critical. It's coming after, you know, it'll be at home. It'll be coming after those back-to-back road games with Alabama and Kentucky. How you do in those 2 games, I think, matters so much because going into that Oklahoma game, going in at home, say you're 6-1 at that point. That game pretty much if you beat Alabama and you beat, you know, you got everything on the line, you beat Oklahoma, I think at that point you got every chance in the land to be top 5 in the nation. You go out and win the rest of the last 4 games, you're looking at a bye game in the playoffs and maybe a SEC title berth. You got to go out and hats off to Tennessee, Coach Heupel and Joey Aguilar, because beginning of the season, if you would have heard me say that, you would have said, "Oh, he's just got his orange glasses on." No, I'm being very real. that because of this offense and what it's done against the guys like Georgia, you go out and, handle business against Mississippi State and Arkansas and Alabama. You going into that Oklahoma game, everything's on the line. Everything. You're going to whoop New Mexico State. Florida, it's at the Swamp. If it was at Tennessee, we're beating them by 30. If it's at the Swamp, it's just,
can't ever tell.
You can't tell. I mean, they could have the quarterback off of Waterboy out there, and they have a chance to beat us. Yeah. So, it is what it is. And then Vanderbilt, if it's at Tennessee, so I'm a little less concerned about it, but there's just something about Vanderbilt every 4 or 5 years that just gives me the heebie-jeebies, and I don't like the feeling of the way Vanderbilt's playing right now. The way I hopefully blow them out. I'm like Joey. I hope they, put on that Netflix film all week and watch Diego Pavia's stupid, uneducated, everything about him. Just he's not that good. He just plays in a system that goes to his strengths, and I'm very, very. If we go into that game 10-1, they better bring it, because Vanderbilt's going to be playing to upset our season. Oh yeah, because they know
that's what their whole season is about.
Even if we're 9-2 at that point, it's going to be the same thing. You better bring it. And if we're 10-1, I fully expect us to be in the title game. If we win that game and go 11-1, don't sleep on Vanderbilt. Don't even do it. Just go out there and play as if you're playing Alabama or Georgia. And so, guys, with that being said, a great show. Got a lot of content in there. Got a lot of, talked about the UAB game. I know we didn't, fully deep dive, didn't have film about the UAB game, but we particularly talked about the first half. Talked about the Mississippi State game a little bit, and then I wanted to get this quarter or third of the season breakdown in, talked about what we thought about it. And so rest of y'all, please, if you're watching the channel, please give us a like and share on Facebook, like and share on Facebook on the Rocky Talk Sports Talk Facebook page. Go find us. I post everything on there as far as all of our live shows. And then as soon as I get through a football season, me and Joey and Tom are going to start putting out video content. And then also very, very soon, just a heads up, we're going to have basketball stuff on the channel very, very soon. They're supposed to start live practice, regular season, team practice, I think next week. So,
what about Bruce Pearl? With that being said,
oh yeah, we'll talk about that too.
Oh my goodness!
So go follow us, go like and share our YouTube page as well. Rock Talk Sports Talk on YouTube. Please give us a thumbs up. Please do that. And then at Twitter at Rocky Top Talks 1, go give us a follow. I share everything on there as far as things talking about Tennessee, and then if you shoot me a message, I'll message you back on there. So go give us all the likes, subscribes, and all the good stuff. So with that being said, y'all have a great day. Go Vols, go Big Orange,
go Vols, baby,
go Vols.
I've been up and I've been down and I done seen it all. Was in the gym working my shot, now they pass me the ball. They never answer when I call, now I'm the one they call. I done been up and I've been down and I done seen it all. Crazy when you